Again, good evening everybody. The subject that chosen today, it's Loka Dhamma. The word of Loka Dhamma is coming from the language of the Buddha. The Buddha was living 2,500 years ago in north of India, and he speaks Pali language. Actually, it's two words. The first word is Loka and the second is Dhamma. The meaning of the word Loka, it's mean word, like around the word, or worldly. And the words of Dhamma it's mean element, or characters. We say conditions, so we call it worldly conditions. Actually, Loka Dhamma, this is 8 elements that the Buddha said that it exists in the world and nobody can run away from it. Even actually the Buddha himself, even that he reached enlightenment, he became a Buddha, but he also couldn't run away from this Loka Dhamma. What is this 8 element that I'm talking about? This is actually 4 and 4, 2 opposite things. Maybe first I will tell all of them and then I will start to explain a little bit each of them. First we talk about gain, to get, to own something. And the second is losing, lost. The other two, it's when embrace. People, they are talking good about you. People, they come and they embrace you up. And the other one is insult. People come and talk bad about you. The other one is when people coming and you have friends, you have fame, you became famous, and you have more and more friends about you and people about you. And the other one is when people are running away from you, you stay alone, you stay lonely. So this is already, we talk about 6. And the last 2, it's the first one we call sukha. Sukha, it means happiness, but it can be also happiness of body, which is health, but also happiness of mind. And the last thing, it's dukkha. Dukkha, it means suffering. You have suffering of the body, what we call sickness, and we have suffering of the mind. The Buddha says it doesn't matter what will affect you, as long as you are in life in the world, you will be under these 8 things. You should train yourself to be neutral. You stay alone. You are lonely. People don't come to visit you or whatever. No, you stay neutral. The Buddha call it anicca. It means impermanent. Everything change. You surrounded from many people, around many people. People, they speak good about you or whatever. You also stay neutral. We also, it can change. Don't be attached. When you gain something, when you get something, something you got in the lottery or whatever, people give you present or whatever, you stay neutral. Don't be attached. You are losing things. If something, you lost something, or suddenly, I don't know, fire in the house, or I don't know, whatever you are losing, also stay neutral. Don't be too much excited. People come and talk good about you. They say, oh, you are number 1, you are the best all over the world. I don't know, maybe you became famous, like, I don't know, some celebrity in the newspaper. You stay neutral. Don't take it serious too much. It also will change. People will come and talk bad about you. They put you down. They speak about you, things which you never done. Also stay neutral. Don't need to react. Let them learn by themselves. And the last 2, for example, when you get sick, okay, you understand it will change. Don't put yourself down and let yourself to be depressed because of this. It will change. Also, when you feel mentally like not so happy or some kind of bad feeling or whatever, you have to understand this also will change, like sadness or what. And then if you feel healthy, also you don't go be also, okay, I can do now whatever I want, I don't care. You have to understand, you have to maintain the body, you have to take care for the body. Easy, the body can change. And also when you feel happy in your mind, don't be attached to it. Everything changing. If you feel happy and you attach to it, okay, you want it to continue, you want it to be better one. Already greed is there. The Buddha, like I said, whatever, all these conditions, it says it's normal and they are changing. We have to learn to be neutral, not to be excited and attached to it. One time even it's happened that someone come to the Buddha and he asked, what is the things which give to the human being and the angels the good fortune, good future? I say about the Mangala Sutta. So the Buddha, he gave him 38 things which he said that if you do, it will make you happy. For example, if you respect your father and mother, if you take care for your children, your husband or wife, the Buddha start with them with the small things, normal things, daily life things, and slowly go up till cleaning the mind by meditation. And in certain times he say, if you reach enlightenment, this will be good future for you. Surprisingly, the Buddha didn't finish there in enlightened. He continued, and then he said, if your mind steady and not shaking because of Loka dhamma, then it give you a future. If you don't become sad, because when you attacked by the Loka dhamma, easily we get sad. I lose something. Oh, people don't like me. Why speak bad to me? Easy, we can get depressed because people hurt us or something bad happened to us. So you say, if you don't become sad and you don't shake, you are strong, then it gives you good future. One time the Buddha explained what is the meaning to stay strong in the front of the Loka dhamma, and he compared the mind as a rock in the mountain. And whatever wind coming from the right, from the left, strong rainy coming or whatever, the stones stay stone, never, nothing shaken, nothing moving. I told you that also the Buddha himself, he was attacked by, even he already get enlightenment, but still he attacked by Loka dhamma. One time, in the time of the Buddha, it was one woman, husband and wife. And the husband, he was Hindu. And the wife, she had some kind of belief in the Buddha. So the man, he all the time see that the woman, she make different kind of technique or different kind of things, what she learned from the Buddha. He start to be jealous. So why is she supposed to follow the Hindu, not the Buddhism? So she get angry about the Buddha. So he decided to go to the Buddha and to shout on the Buddha. Why do you make my wife crazy? And so he come to the Buddha and start to shout about, oh, you are like this and complain different things, many things, and insult the Buddha. So the Buddha, he wait a little bit till the man, he a little bit relaxed. And then he asked this man, excuse me, sometimes people come to visit you? And then the man say, for sure people are coming to visit me, but why you change the subject? And he continues shouting on the Buddha and insult the Buddha different things. So the Buddha, he wait when he relax a little bit, and then he asked the man, and tell me something, when these people coming to visit you, you also give them some food, you give them some drink, something? And then the man said, for sure I give the people to eat, but why you change the subject? And he's shouting on the Buddha. And then the Buddha, he wait for him when he relax, and then the Buddha asked him, and when the people, they finish everything, they just go, and sometimes the table still have the food there. So the man said, for sure, they don't take care, they don't finish everything, and they go sometime, but why you change the subject and shouting? So the Buddha said, the food that you gave to them and they didn't took and they go, it belong to you or it belong to them? So what do you think? Suppose people coming, they visit you, after they go. What stay in the table, it's belong to you or it's belong to them? Usually what you are doing with this food that stay on the table, the butters and all these things,
Eat it.
Stay in your home, you eat it later. Maybe you give it to other people, it means it belong to you,
Yeah.
So the Buddha said the same. You are coming to give me your anger, but I don't take your anger, so it's your anger. So this man, he said, wow, so wise man. He come and prostrate to the Buddha, he said, I like to be your student. So now this husband and wife became students of the Buddha. But it's happened that this man, this Brahmin man, he have another 3 brothers, also Brahmin. I think you understand what this means, Brahmin. This is religion man, people, in this case it's Hindu. And then they get angry. Why? Also this Buddha, he make my brother also crazy and the wife crazy. We have to go to him. So then they come to the Buddha, and the Buddha could teach them and change them also. So the monk, they was thinking, wow, how come the Buddha, he could change these 4 brothers? How we make it? So they come, they ask the Buddha, how did you make it? So the Buddha say, very simple, I use patience. People have anger, and they come and shout on me, I should not feel bad. I should understand they are suffering in this moment. It's not mean because of me. They are just suffering in this moment. I have to come with a patience to them, with loving kindness to them. Actually, in this moment, they are suffering very much. We don't have to be angry with them. We have to come with, mitgefühl, you say? I forgot English, I say. Empathy. And for sure, many times, many people come and they say to the Buddha, they say, you are the great person, you are the most clever person. So I show you here, sometimes even the Buddha attacked by embrace and insult. But for sure, when the people come and say, oh, you are number 1 and this, he was like, hey, I'm so happy, everybody likes me. No, he stayed neutral. After the Buddha get enlightenment, he was sitting alone and he was thinking, oh, I can teach Vipassana. It's so difficult. Because we have to look at the nature, we have to look at the pain. We cannot, very difficult for people to practice. In this moment he was alone. He didn't have any teacher, any student, sorry. If we talk, we have Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Buddha, it means the teacher, the Buddha. Dhamma, it's the teaching. Sangha, it's all the community. But in this moment, no Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, only Buddha, Dhamma. No Sangha yet. He was alone. And then the Buddha was thinking, who I can teach? He was thinking about 2 teachers that he had, but he knew that they died already. So he cannot teach them. And then he think about 5 friends that they practice together. I tell you something what happened with these 5 friends. The Buddha was practicing with them before he go alone to find enlightenment. They was practicing very, very intensive in the jungle. The Buddha was so extreme, he almost killed himself. They have idea, if we have karma, it means that if we pay a lot of karma, we get more close to nirvana. So it means that we can kill ourselves, so we suffer so much. And I said that the Buddha was so extreme, he almost killed himself. He stopped eating totally. He became very, very skinny, almost died. And in the same night when he decided to go to look by himself, he found out that this is not the way. We should go in the middle way. So then he decided, he said that if I destroy the body, how can I practice? No tool to practice, no machine to practice. So then he go down from the mountain and he wash himself. He cut the hair and he was sitting under the tree. The woman come and bring him the food and he take the food. So when these 5 friends, they see the Buddha, when his name was Siddhartha Gautama, he was not this moment Buddha yet. But when they saw him washing and eating, they said, come on, this was a king. He's a prince. He's missing home. He's going back to be a king. We should leave him alone. He's not one from us anymore. We don't want to see him anymore. So like I said, after the Buddha get enlightenment, he decided that he have to look for these 5 friends to teach them. And when they saw him coming, they immediately say, this is the king coming from the palace. We don't say goodbye, hello to him, we don't wash his feet, we don't give him anything, we have to ignore him. You see, actually he's a Buddha already. He's an enlightened person already, but still people don't want to see him. He cannot run away from this. But what happened is when he get close to them, they saw something strange on his behavior. So they couldn't make the stand up with the temptation. One give him the seat, one wash the legs, and they let them to come and to sit with them. And then he told them, I get enlightenment. But they don't believe him. They say, what you're talking? What is this foolish thing? So you have to say to them again, I got enlightenment. They say, what you're talking? We don't want to listen for this. So when he said to them the third time, he said to them, if you do what I'm telling you, you also can do it. So then they say, okay, what we have to lose? And then shortly after this, they became the first student enlightenment, and it became Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And then you see many times, with the Buddha go 500 students, with the Buddha go 1,000 students, with the Buddha go over 2,000 students. Oh, so many people around them suddenly. So you see, sometime alone, sometime with many people. Stay neutral. One story about when you stay alone and many people. One time, the Buddha, let's say not one time, the Buddha have one cousin. He also became a monk. His name was Devadatta. This Devadatta, he make a lot of trouble to the Buddha. All the time, even one time he tried, or maybe 2 times, tried to kill the Buddha. One time, this Devadatta, he come to the other monk and he start to speak bad about the Buddha, something like to make separation with the Sangha, with the community of the monk. So one time, the Buddha, he come to his assistant. His name was Ananda, the secretary. And he said to him, you see, Ananda, people cannot run away from karma. Devadatta make bad karma. He will have to pay it. So when Ananda say, you have to do something against Devadatta, the Buddha say, I don't have to do anything. I am going to the jungle. And then the Buddha said to Ananda, whenever it's necessary, you come to call me. So Ananda asked, how I know? He said, you don't worry, you will know. Understand? The Buddha said to Ananda, whenever it will be necessary, you come to call me. So Ananda asked, how I know? So the Buddha said, you don't worry, you will know. And then after some times, Ananda come to look for for the Buddha in the jungle. Where is he? Where is he? And then suddenly he found the Buddha. So then the Buddha asked Ananda, why you come to me? What you want? So Ananda said to the Buddha, all the village, all the people waiting for you, looking for you, they found out what foolish things Devadatta is doing. And so they chase them away. They shout on them and they chase them away. They don't want them, so they're looking for you. So then they invite the Buddha to come back again. This again show you that sometimes even the Buddha sometimes stay alone. Sometimes many students. You see, the Buddha himself, he used to eat meat. People ask me why, but the Buddha, he take everything what people give him. And one time, one man invited the Buddha to take the food with a group of people, 500 people. And then what the man prepared to the Buddha, he prepared very delicious food. Something that considered to be, they say, meat or pork or something like this, or fish, something like this. And when the Buddha was sitting at the table, he saw this food, special food that the man make. And he saw that this food is not so good for eating. It's very damaged. Actually, that time already the Buddha was 80 years. Before he came to this food, he tried to tell, because he was enlightened, he cannot live long life. He can live like normal human being, okay? So he told to his assistant, to Ananda, that if Ananda will ask him to stay longer life, the Buddha will be able to do it. But Ananda didn't understand the meaning. You understand? Before they come to this food, okay? The Buddha tried to tell Ananda that if the Buddha want, he can to live longer life. But because Ananda, he was so sad that his teacher going to die, he didn't understand what the Buddha mean. The Buddha actually said to him, if I put effort a little bit, I put determination, I can live a little bit more, maybe a few years more, something like this. But because Ananda was so, let's say, sad about this, that his teacher going to die, he didn't understand, he started to cry. So the Buddha, he let go already, and he said, okay, so this is the end of my life. Something must make the life of the body finish. When the Buddha was sitting in this table, he saw this food and said, oh, this is good things to finish the life of the Buddha. Something like to make the the body will stop. And then the Buddha said to the person, to the monk, please, no monk eating from this food, only me. And then after he finished to eat, he said to the man, the owner of the house, because nobody knows that this food is no good. Only the Buddha have some power to look at it. So the Buddha said to the man, you take this food, you dig very, very deep on the ground, and you put the food so no animal can eat also. And then after the Buddha eat this food, he started to have a problem in the stomach. He became sick. And then 3 months, he started to travel from this place to the place called Kusinagar. This is the place where he finished his life. He traveled from many, many villages, something like to say goodbye, to give them the blessing, and to give the last teaching. And you have to understand that all this time, 3 months, the Buddha had very, very stomach problems. He all the time urine and go toilet very much, and strong pain in the stomach. But the Buddha stayed neutral. He didn't have any reaction. This is about sickness and healthy. One more story, okay, before I explain you how to do the way that we can stay neutral. In which way we can do our mind to stay neutral. Just one story more. I told you that Devadatta tried to kill the Buddha. One time Devadatta, he tried to throw big stones on the Buddha, but it's happened that these stones didn't hit the Buddha, but small piece broken and touched the legs of the Buddha. For sure the Buddha was feeling the pain. He feeling these stones touching him, but he stayed neutral. He didn't jump, ow, ow, ow. In which way we can train ourselves to be neutral? Usually how we know that someone tell us something? How do you know people talk to you something that you don't like? In which way you know it? Suppose I tell you something, how do you know I'm telling you this one?
I get impatient.
No, but how do you know that
I hear it, you do.
Exactly. The stone touch your legs, how do you know the stone touch your legs? You feel it, exactly. Suppose some fire somewhere, how do you know? Maybe you smell it. We have 6 sense doors: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling, and also we are thinking sometimes. So this is how we know the condition around us. But when someone tells you something, like you say, it's not that only you hear, immediately you don't like it. Or maybe you like it. It depends. Immediately the memory, this is Mr. So-and-so, he said to me like this and like this. And immediately you judge it. Oh, he's like this and like this all the time, he make it. And then the anger coming. And then maybe you react. Then fighting already. Like a candles. You get information from the sense doors. You don't turn it off. These candles come up, immediately, boom, another candles. You disliking. You don't turn off, boom, another memory. Boom, judging. Boom, 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 and big fire. Sometimes this fire didn't stop, don't stop long time. Maybe you still carry someone that you are, I don't know, from childhood still in your mind now. The Buddha says it's possible to turn off these candles. We don't have to go with a big fire. It's possible to turn them off. Actually, the patent, it's the mindfulness. When you look at the things, slowly you can cut them. Bim, bim, bim. Turn them off. Because why we are suffering? Not because we hear something, because how we react to it. If I see something, immediately I don't like it, I judge it, and then maybe I anger about this or whatever, maybe I want to beat the person. Where is coming the suffering? Not because what he's doing, and not because what I see, because how I react to what I'm seeing. The way that we can react maybe by anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. The Buddha he described it like a dust in our eyes, in the mind. He called it kilesa. He said the mind is like a rubbish. That's why we are suffering, because the mind is not clean. Of course we don't see everything in one time. We don't anger, worry, doubt, everything one time. Sometimes they come with combination. But as long as they are coming, then we are suffering. And what the Buddha find out, for example, every time you anger, if you see the tree of the anger, you just acknowledge, anger coming on me, anger, boom, you cut one leaf. Greedy, boom, one leaf, boom, boom, boom. Slowly cleaning the rubbish from the mind. Like this, you are slowly cleaning the dust from the eyes, from the mind. You think if you practice enough, maybe you can acknowledge the anger, boom, you turn off these candles. If you practice more, maybe maybe the judging is there. You practice more, you will be able to see the memory, how it's coming. Already when the thinking coming, you can turn it off. More maybe the feeling coming on you. You just see the disliking, you're not disliking, boom, and then it will not continue to be big fire. With more mindfulness, maybe at the end it will be just hearing, and boom, not my business. I continue. Protect your sense doors. And to acknowledge, to practice mindfulness, we can be mindful for 4 things. We have 4 foundations of mindfulness. As long as we put mindfulness in our life, we are building ourselves more and more and more. Every time we see, we cut, we cleaning. As long as mindfulness is there. When the people ask the Buddha what we can be mindful, the Buddha explained them there is 4 foundations of mindfulness. The most clear, the most easy to pay attention is just our body. When I'm walking, I just know, now I'm walking, I pay attention. I know that I'm walking. Now you are sitting, you just know, sitting. And then you are standing, you know I'm standing. Also when you lay down, before sleeping also you know laying down. So we have big body, walking, sitting, standing and laying down. But body also we have small body, touching, turning, lowering, rising. Beside this I can know my feeling. When I like it, I don't like something, I'm neutral about something, I also have to know. And then we have what we call mind. And this is the thinking, judging, analyzing, criticizing, memory. And then we have what we call mind object, anger, worry, doubt, lazy, craving. And for sure, like I said, you have 6 sense doors, hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, feeling and thinking. And the Buddha said, as long as you put mindfulness on your life, on whatever you are doing, slowly you learn to overcome all the difficulties. And then whatever, hearing, seeing, smelling, it's not influence on you. Not when they are good, not in bad. You just stay neutral. And you think in a wise way. So you don't be under the feeling which is changing all the time. You be on the top. Maybe I give you the ability to ask some question also.
The question is, for example, about the feelings and emotions. For me sometimes maybe I'm afraid to react with them. But some time ago I had a talk, a conversation with a friend and we were talking about it. And then this friend was saying, but the feelings, the emotions, this is what make us human. Like it's normal or if we have good food, we like it. Maybe if we are ill, we don't feel good, we have not so good feeling. Different examples where these friends say, but this is something like, this makes us human. If we don't have it, so it is something like unnatural.
Yeah, that's true. That's what makes us creatures. That's why creatures is suffering. As the creatures, we let them play with us, all this emotion. And we think that this must be like this. But it's not must be. People say, if I don't afraid, how can I save my life? So I ask, when you are staying, for example, in the jungle, and the lion coming to you, what is the thing which save your life? Is this that you are afraid? If you don't afraid, you will not be able to save your life? So I say, yeah, for sure, if I don't afraid, I will not save my life. I say, no, what save your life is to climb up the tree. Not afraid. Because of this emotion, small things became very problem for us. Actually, I say in the life there is no problem, there is only situations. Because we are following all this anger, worry, doubt, lazy, every small things can be very big problem for us. Sometimes people are sitting in the front of a computer, they can sit many hours. But some people even here, how many times like this? Small sitting, how much problem can create. People need to go to look for work. I need to go to make some conversation with the employer. Actually, he needs me the same like I need the job. It's exactly the same. Because if I'm a good person, he needs me. He needs good people. It's not me that I only need the work. And then I start to think, oh, maybe he will not like me. Maybe he have many people together coming at the same time. Maybe he don't like this and this. Already so much worry and I cannot sleep at night and I cannot eat in the morning. I'm coming under war. If I acknowledge thinking, worry, disliking, or judging, slowly I clean out from my mind the worry, the doubt, all these things. So then I build the confidence. I build the effort. I cut the lazy. I need to telephone, I just telephone. Why to delete it later? I practice Achtsamkeit, mindfulness. I'm building mindfulness. I can bring my mind more concentrated, no jumping. So then concentration is higher, more focus. And the most important, I bring wisdom to know this is good for me, this is not good for me. Know what is my quality, I come, I know how to talk. Everything, what I want to do. And then nothing can break you. Because you don't let all this worry, anger, doubt to play with you and to blind you. But I can totally understand your friend when he say like this. This is why all the creatures suffering. But lucky, the Buddha find patent how to overcome. Bitte schön.
If you come to a community and you hear somebody saying, I'm against the Jews, I don't like Jews, how do you feel? How do you react?
So first I acknowledge hearing, and then I stay neutral. Because you see, I'm a Jewish. And I'm not only Jewish, I'm also Buddhist. And when I'm going to Israel, so I'm Buddhist. When I'm going in other places around the world, I'm Jewish. So I have to deal with hearing every place and stay neutral. When I see the wall, I see white color. When I see someone saying like this, I see he's ignorant. So I just mercy about them. I can send them blessing. May your eyes will open to see better because you are suffering so much. When I'm looking at the wall and I see the white, I became white also. When I see someone ignorant, I have ignorance inside me also. When I look at the wall, I see seeing. When someone talking to me this or that way, I acknowledge hearing, stay neutral. Also, if you will come to tell me you are Jewish, you are the best all over the world, you are a very wise person, the Jewish, they are very wise, I stay neutral also. This is also ignorant. I'm just human being. Actually, I'm just creatures. Same like the ants. So not attached to this, not attached to that.
So you just smile and reply nothing?
Yeah, sometimes. It depends. I have 4 ways to take actions. I will explain. These things I have to, to stand. I cannot say fight or this. To stand on the front of them every day almost. These kind of things, what you are saying now. This is my life now. Because in Israel, I am Jewish Buddhist. Make them a lot of confusion. People shouting on me in the Holy Wall. I'm going, take my friends there to show Jerusalem. They're shouting on me. The Jewish people, they're shouting on me. They complain, why you change? Not only from other countries, something like people, they look... but this is up to them. This is their idea, it's not my idea. I'm neutral. And you see the other people, because they are not practicing enough. Lucky I'm practicing over 20 years. They are answering, but I stay neutral. They shout in the front of everybody, big amount of people. I stay neutral, yes, smiling. 4 ways to act. 1 is loving kindness. Sometimes I have to be with loving kindness. Sometimes loving kindness is not exactly the things I have. If they're sick or they fell down, I have to take care for this. Something like we say empathy. If they success or they have birthday or whatever, I have to come with mudita. And sometimes I have to be neutral. So if I'm mindful, I know exactly how to act in this moment. These things very sensitive. It can change very fast. I show you. I come with a present to give to someone gift. He stand on the step, on the post, okay? And when he come to get from me the things, he fell down. So immediately I come to help him. And then he can stand, he can push himself by himself. Okay, sorry, before this, okay, when I try to give him the help and he lose the balance, he leave me alone, something like this. Okay, so I didn't took any actions. And then he stand by himself. When I come to give him the present, I come with loving kindness. When he fell down, I was with karuna to him. When he didn't want my help and he pushed me away, I stay neutral. And then he stand up and he could stand and everything okay. I was happy for him. This is for boom. Very fast. Very, very important. You know, one time I have one very close student of mine is artist. Very famous. You can see in the internet. Big picture, 2 meter on 2 meter. Also Mechi painter. When I come before 6 years to Israel, I became very famous. I celebrity, Madonna. In Thailand, in many newspaper, internet. The man from the newspaper, he come to make article about me, big like this. Yeah. We were sitting in the gallery, and the big picture behind me, something like this, bigger than this actually. And the journalist, he asked me, what do you think about this article? Do you have anything against or you want me to publish it? Actually, one of the important newspaper in Israel, all over Israel, big like this. Yeah. And then I told them, you see, if you write good things, honest things, beneficial things, you will gain, and the people that read will gain. If you write things which are not relevant, not correct, bad things, you will have no any benefit from this, or maybe damage, and the people that read it, they don't have any benefit, or maybe they damage from this. See, I am the only one which is not relevant here. Maybe I don't read this article at all. Understand? And then I give him example. I say, if we sit and we talk about big picture, the picture know something about our conversation? Don't know anything, just the picture. So same things.
What I do if the fire of the emotion is already out of rage and burning so much?
This will be your training, because when you are practicing more and more, you see this is not magic. You cannot change in one day. If you practice mindfulness in the daily life, for sure it will build you. The Buddha said theoretically, if you practice mindfulness, you will be mindful 7 years continuously. You will clean totally your mind. Something like turn off all the candles. You know in Pali how we say turn off? Stopping, ceasing, turning off. I think all of you know. Nirodha. Nirodha, this is the words coming nirvana. Nirvana, it's not mean enlightened. Turn on the light. Opposite. Turn off. Turn off the reason of the suffering. You see, if you want to practice to train your muscles, you practice every day a little bit, for sure your muscles will be strong. But if you go to gymnastic room and you train yourself, it will be much stronger and much faster and more correct. It's more deep, more meaningful. You have trainer, someone that show you how to do it. When you go to the course of Vipassana, you have there the trainer which will show you how to progress Vipassana. Not for the course to say I was very shanti in the course of Vipassana, but to gain the Vipassana, the mindfulness. So when you finish, you can take it to your life. You can live much better. So that's what we are doing. Something like people asking us, what you are doing? I say, I'm just gymnastic room. I am a trainer, training the people how to develop the mindfulness. When they train more and more, when they go, they can cut the vegetables, they don't cut the finger. They drive in mindfulness, they don't make accident. And then they go to talk to the boss, they will be mindful, they don't let all these things to influence on them. There is different level of power, quality of mindfulness, of the mindfulness. When they go to meet the boss, there is different qualities to the mindfulness or the benefit of the mind. If you want to know where to practice or what, later we can talk about this. We can tell the people where we are doing the course or whatever. We are staying in Wat Buddha Piawaram in Dry Aish, in Gotsenhain. How many times a week we have
Twice.
You can maybe announce a little bit. Every sometimes we have weekend. There is another meditation center which belongs to our teacher, and one colleague of mine, she's managing the place. It's called Dhammachari Center. It's in Bayern. Maria will know where is it. She can give you the address and everything. And anyway, there is also flyers outside, so you can take it if you want. Please, any other questions?
Where we can find the Dharma.
Sorry?
The Dharma. Mm-hmm. Where we can find it? In the book?
Where you? No, I tell you
life?
Yeah, Dhamma, you see, the meaning of the word Dhamma. Dhamma, there is many meaning to the words Dhamma. Dhamma is the way, Dhamma is the nature, Dhamma it's the item or tool or teaching, and all these things it's come from the words of Dham. Dha, it means something that push you up, that bring you up. And bring you up on the meaning of get out for suffering. And this Dharma you can develop by learning from the book, but this will not change you. It will give you idea, it's give you knowledge. But to change your mind into good things, it's only by mindfulness, only by practicing. Dar, it's in Sanskrit. Dham, it's from, this is the D-H-A-M, double M, it's from Pali, okay? In Sanskrit, you have a little bit different between Dar, we say D-H-R, this is Sanskrit. Dham, D-H-A-M, it's the, in Sanskrit, in Pali. This is the one that, the meaning of this, it's something that brings you up, that lift you up. Yeah, take you down from the suffering into the happiness. Yeah. If you read by book or you listen to the Dharma talk, talking about Dharma, yeah, it's give you the idea. It's give you some kind of wisdom, but it will not be able to release you. Only by practicing and mindfulness by yourself, only then it can release you. And this everyone have to do by himself. Nobody can do for you.
It means going inside.
Yeah, looking inside.
Looking inside.
Yeah. When you look at nature, you see nature. You are learning from the nature. You develop yourself. That's why we call it Vipassana, or insight meditation. Vipassana, it's also two words from Pali language which you connect together. It's Vi and Passana. The meaning of the word Vi, it's clear, true, into, objectively, intuitively, direct from your own experience. Not because someone teach you, but because you know by yourself. And meaning of Passana is seeing, to see. That's why we get to see clear, to see true, to see the things as they are. The Buddha said you don't have to believe. You have your sense doors, pay attention to your sense doors, be mindful, you understand by yourself. The same like if I give you a big book of swimming, you read all the book a few times, you never know to swim. I give you a big book about explanation about anger. You read it many times, you still anger. One moment that you go into the water, in the pool, and you try to do a little bit, you learn much more. Maybe you know already to swim. But in the moment that you look at your own anger, you understand better. You can learn to overcome it. That's what we call it, why we call it insight meditation, Vipassana. This is actually the teaching of the Buddha. This is what the Buddha found out in the night when he was sitting meditation.
What was was there a key experience when you decided to become a monk? Or to practice mindfulness and to meditate?
Myself?
Yes.
Oh, everything accident.
Everything accident.
Accidentally. 20 years ago I served in the Air Force of Israel 4 years. And during the time of my service, the stuff between the bones cut, so I became disabled. The doctor said I need operation, but I didn't want to go to make operation because I wanted to travel in the Far East, in India and Thailand. I wanted to travel long time, so I wanted to live cheap. And one time I reached to the temple and I decided it's a good place to stay. I didn't understand anything about spiritual life. Till today I don't have any interest about this. I never go yoga, reiki, healing, all these things, not for me. I like to go to see mountain, to see nature, to see people behave or whatever. But to stay there I have to do what they're telling me. so I have to walk and to sit. Very difficult for me because my legs upside down. I cannot walk, I cannot sit 5 minutes. After 5 minutes I lay down on the floor crying from pain so much. So I just continue, and then slowly I fix my legs. I recover. You know, before I'm sitting like this, you see how long. Usually the most easy for me is lotus.
Okay.
But today, that time, I don't know, with cushion I cannot sit. So slowly, in the basic course, 21 days I practice. And then I fix my legs. I didn't understand what is this Buddha, what is this meditation, what they want from me, I didn't understand. But I said, well, no need operation, fix my legs so I can come back again. I fix my back, I fix my eyes, I be Superman. So I continue coming, going. So yeah, for sure, I saw how the effect of fixing the body. Yeah, this is a very important thing. After 2.5 years, when I was traveling, my parents, they already called me, oh, we miss you so much, why you never come back home? So then I came back to Israel, and then I start to see that also my mind changed. I take things more easy, more simple, I can manage every work, I can manage with many people. I saw how confidence come up, many things. Patient. So that I saw that I don't know what is meditation, but it's make good. So I keep coming to Thailand, Israel, Thailand. And after some times I saw that I need some more tools. This is the 227 precept of the monk. So then I ordained, and I have different experience there. Stay sometimes in the cave, in the jungle, and this and that. Then my teachers, they asked me to come to teach. And then sent me to Germany. I was serving in Gotzenheim 4 years. After 4 years, they asked me to start to build a meditation center in Israel. So I'm changing many times. So I travel very much between different countries. Also India. Every year we go to India to visit the 4 important places for the Buddha. This year, I think it's already 8 years that we are going to India. The Buddha said to Ananda that if the people, they go to visit the 4 places which the Buddha was active there, which is important, the people will be so happy when they understand what they are doing. So the mind will build upper and upper. From the happiness will be in the mind. This is the place where the Buddha born, Lumbini in Nepal. The place where the Buddha enlightenment in Bodh Gaya, the place where he was teaching first time in Saranath, and the place where the Buddha passed away, Kusinagar. We don't just go for happy tourist or whatever. We are going to as a spiritual tour. It's very important for our life. We are also doing retreat 7 days in the place where the Buddha get enlightenment. Usually the group of people from Israel, from Germany, Mechi also coming, this is the 2nd year. If anyone want to wish, you're most welcome. I will be very happy if you want to enjoy. One of my students is, our students is from Nepal, is Nepali, and he's tourist guide. He make everything very nicely. Make my life easy. If anyone want or something, you can contact with Mechi. She also coming, so you can organize together. If anyone want after this, we go to, from there I go to Thailand. We go to make there the course, a very special place. For one of the important monk in Thailand, he invite me. So from there immediately we go there to make a course. Petition, no? Anything? Okay, so, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. So, thank you very much. I appreciate very much, and thank you. And I hope, I wish for all of you to find the real happiness. And we want to give you Geshen.